I am now crippled by the pain that lives inside my heart, for I have seen how love was slain and watched its soul depart. All in the summer of his life, so beautiful and strong, he was loved by everyone, despising all things wrong. His kindness to the poor was known, though he tried to hide it. The rich he won with charm and wit, though some of them despised it. He grew up loving life and love. He gave to each full measure, and all who met him took from him something they would treasure. All that is, except a few, the powerful and greedy, those who hate what good men do to help the poor and needy. They saw him as a threat to all that ordered their estate. They decided to be rid of him before it was too late. They tried to turn the crowd against him by using clever lies. He stood accused of heinous crimes, alike in strength and size. But none would stick, for none would fit the person people knew. Despite the clever lawyer's lies, his reputation grew. He went up to Jerusalem to celebrate the feast. He rode upon a donkey's back, a simple burden beast. The crowd acclaimed him as he rode, the common people's hero, while in the halls of government they set his worth at 0. They laid their plans in darkened rooms and had the man arrested. Under cloak of darkness, this good man was molested. By skillful mob manipulation, the rulers made it seem that he endangered at that time the whole of Rome's regime. And so it was that he was hanged upon the shameful cross. It seemed to me that evil won, so great was then my loss. I was sobbing tears of terror as I heard him cry to God above, Eloi, Eloi, lama sabachthani. My God, he said, my God, why have you forsaken me? And that pained and awful cry echoes now in me. It echoes deep inside my soul. It chills my very bones. Could it be this awful death for my sin atones? I am lost, for love is dead, nailed upon a tree, mocked and broken by those who fear that good men might be free. I grieve and cry and shout at God, who's taken him from me. I am distracted in my soul, no justice can I see. For he was sure and perfect love, plainly in my sight. And yet he died through others' hate, and died for doing right. Where they buried him in the tomb, my friends and I took stock. It was in a chamber in a tomb newly hewn from rock. We waited all Sabbath and then a night, and we went all anxiously in the cool mists of dawning light to anoint him bodily. And as we went to the place where his body lay alone, there was a question on each face. Who will move the stone? But when we saw the new hewn tomb, the stone had been rolled away, and that dark and lonely room lay open to the day. And when we came to the door, I went on inside, and I saw the cloths on the floor which wrapped him when he died. And then I saw a bright young man dressed in purest white, and he spoke these words to me, which made us all take fright. Why look you here for Jesus? He is risen and gone away. He's gone to Galilee in the north, as once you heard him say. Now, go and tell the others too. Go tell everyone that he is risen as he said, he who is God's Son. We stood a while, and then we ran in fear to get away. And in our fear we told no man what we had seen that day. But some had seen us in distress and knew where we had been, and went to find out for themselves what troubles we had seen. Peter went, and with him John, who ran on far ahead, and arriving first waited there in that garden of the dead. When Peter came, he went straight in and saw the cloth from Jesus' head. And John then saw and believed within that he had risen from the dead. I returned when they had gone, and weeping looked inside, and saw 2 angels standing there, who asked me why I cried. One was standing at the head, at the foot the other one. They've taken away my Lord, I said, and I don't know where they've gone. Then I turned and saw a man, the gardener as I thought. But when he spoke and said my name, I knew it was he whom I sought. Rabboni, I said, Rabboni, as I reached out for him in love. But he said, don't cling to me, for I must go to God above. Go, he said, and tell the brothers that I must soon ascend to my Father in heaven above. Go now, my faithful friend. And so I went and told them all the Lord had said to me. With tears I told them, as I recall, and I wept most joyfully. The next Sunday evening we were all locked in for fear of the temple police, when Jesus came and appeared within and said sweet words of peace. He showed us all his wounds, those in hands and side, but Thomas doubted all he said, and our witness he denied. Unless I see the wounds, he said, and touch them, I can't believe. For emotions lead us on to see what may deceive. 1 week later Jesus came, and amongst us stood once more. He had appeared despite the lock made fast upon the door. See and touch these wounds, dear Thomas. Doubt no more, my son. And Thomas said, my Lord and God, the one true Holy One. And Jesus said, you believe, dear Thomas, because of what you've seen, but more blessed are those who believe, never having seen. And so my testimony ends, and my joy is now complete. The cross was no disaster, his death was no defeat. For by it he did open up the way to heaven above, proved in resurrection through sacrificial love.